quote unquote ASSS. So I'm going to help you decipher what's going on when it happens. So when you look at price action like this, let's do this. I'm going to clear everything off. And you're watching price, and you're just looking at this stuff, and you're thinking, like, wow, like this is bad. Like it feels like a root canal, right? I wouldn't know. I never had a root canal, but I heard it's pretty uncomfortable. And speaking of comfortable, I gotta fix this pillow behind my back here. Hold on one second. Sitting on these wooden dining room chairs doesn't really work when I'm doing these long-winded discussions. So this whole business right here, this big block of price action, okay, this is time distortion. This is what's going to beat you up. And the question is how long does time distortion go? How long will I have to submit to it? When I first discover it's occurring, what do I do? What's the protocol? Okay, well, what time frame are you on? 1 minute. So watch what happens. If you know you're in this range, this high to that low, it's hanging around in that. It's just simply not moving outside of it. I'm going to make this a very ugly yellow color. Okay. Not because there's other things on the chart because I cleared it all off, but I just want you to see this range. Okay. Ugly, right? There isn't a whole lot I can do in that. Maybe one or two things in there, but I can see where if I tried, I would have probably got stopped out about 4 or 5 times in a loss. So when I'm seeing price action like this is time distortion. What does time distortion mean? You're on a time frame that price is being distorted and you won't see it for what it really is. So how do you fix it? How do you bend time to a usable medium so that way you can see what is it really doing here? Ready? You got your notepad ready? You have to go up to the higher time frames. Time distortion requires you to go up in time frame. Ranges that spend a lot of high resistance on the higher time frame, the way you can combat that is drop down to lower time frames. When we're seeing time distortion like this, the way you rectify this and get yourself calibrated to what it's doing, you go up to a higher time frame. So watch what happens. We're in a 1 minute. We're going up to a 5 minute. Still part of a small little inefficiency there, but it doesn't really indicate anything. It's still not clear as to what it's trying to do. Well, above 5 minute, what's a nice little bellwether time frame that we like to look at around here? 15 minute. Should already jump off the chart at you. What do you see? See that? Now I'm going to keep this portion of price distortion annotated that was referencing the 1 minute chart. This is what it's been doing. You look at the high, I'm sorry, the low of that candle to that candlestick's high right there. All price is doing is working towards using this inefficiency on the 15-minute time frame. Now, what happens if this gap didn't exist here and we were looking at a 15-minute time frame and it was doing what the 1 minute was doing? What would I do? I would go to the 1 hour or the 4 hour, and I would look for the inefficiency it's trying to get to. Because it's all it's doing is trying to just get to this area here. Now, if we're bearish and we're expecting that 23,999 level, and I think my tweets kind of confirmed that that was valid by me saying that's not cherry picking it or hindsight. So while price is here, we're looking for lower prices. We're looking for those hello relative equal lows on the daily chart. I'm bearish. While it's doing this, it trades up, but look at this up close candle. When it trades up, I think we've communicated this. I could take the yellow off. 4 minutes to finish this, and I'll be under the window where you guys can hear it in translations. There you go. This SIBI, if it's bearish, do we want this full gap to close in? In other words, do we want to see these candlesticks go all the way up to the high of that? If it's bearish, Can it do that? Yes. If it's bearish in a trade idea that you're a participant in and you're looking for lower prices, optimally, is this what you want to see? No. You want to see price stay in the lower half of this gap. This candle's high, this candle's low. You want to see price make an attempt to get to this midpoint. If it does, as soon as it touches it, you are watching to see what the body does. Does the body close below it? If you do see that, that's real institutional order flow. You do not need to see inside of a candlestick how many orders were at this price. That is absolute bullshit. There's no difference between that and everything else in retail. You're attributing so much religious viewpoints to this information, and nobody's doing it the same way, which means what? It's up for private interpretation. And private interpretation is no different than looking at support and resistance, Renko bars, Elliott wave, count the waves. You get 20 people in Elliott wave theory, sit them down in any market and tell them, go through all these different specific time frames. Not all of them are going to agree. They're going to have different wave counts. They're going to have different this and different that. Why? Because it's still a religion. I'm teaching you that when you have an inefficiency like this is obvious. No one can say this isn't an inefficiency. It's a sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. That means it's a down close inefficiency. It's defined by this candlestick's low, this candlestick's high. So if we're bearish and price trades up into it, it's not ambiguous. It's not, well, if it does this, it might be. No, it's this. Anticipated trading to midpoint. It can wick above midpoint, but it cannot lay down a body in the upper half if you're looking for it to go lower, utilizing this gap. Chris Laurie didn't teach that shit. The guy he learned from didn't teach that shit. Okay? So that's the facts, that's the historical record, okay? So here's what's happening. The close on this candlestick doesn't even lay down on the midpoint. We're in lower time frame time distortion, but it's simply just trading up into a higher time frame inefficiency while being bearish. Anticipate it retracing higher. Once it gets into this inefficiency, start looking for price to stay out of that portion. This is do not trespass. What happens if you trespass? You better get the hell off here before I shoot your ass. Well, what does price do? I'm out of here. See you later. I'm gone. Bodies in the lower half. Exactly what real institutional order flow looks like visually. It's not complicated. If you think that what I'm describing here is complicated or complex, spend a little bit more time studying it. If you don't have it grasped by 3 months, move on to do something else because you're simply just not capable of picking this up. And I can't fix that for you. I'm not saying you're stupid. I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm just saying that you don't have the aptitude currently to get what I'm saying here. And it's not complex. It's very, very simple. If we're looking for inefficiencies as a point of entry, we're looking for the lower half of it when we're bearish. And we want to see it respect the upper half and say no trespassing. Can't get in the upper half of that. When we're bullish, we want to see the opposite. We want to see it trade down into an inefficiency, and then it can wick in the lower half, but it can't leave bodies down there. If it does leave a body, it needs to leave the range entirely, then come back, re-enter it, use it as support idea or like a discount sensitivity, then stay out of the lower half. Then it becomes don't trespass in the lower half. Isn't that simple? I mean, seriously, folks, if you're watching it or if you're watching it later on, just send a tweet to me on X and say, yeah, this is really easy. But if it's complicated, say it's complicated. If they do say it, don't troll them, don't beat them up, because it just means that they may need me to say something in addition to what I just said here, and I can help them understand it better. But it's not meant to get you guys arm wrestling about who's smart and who's not. But this is simplistic. Like children can see this visually and understand, oh, it's going to act like this, it's going to act like that. It's very specific rule-based ideas, and it's not zones. Okay? It's not zones. Look at these levels on the bodies and you'll see they're on the octants. but that's probably random, right? Anyway, I'm gonna let you go. It's been fun. I hope you guys have a very